I think what we proved at Keene State and in the city of Keene is that if you work together, you can survive, not only survive during COVID, but actually have a really good experience for the city and the college. And we don't have to have the challenges some communities have had. So we've worked really well together. I think the collaboration around mandates or the collaboration around protocols, I don't think we would have had the type of success if we hadn't all been doing this together, and that includes our students.
I think I thought about this situation that we're in now, as long lasting as it's been, as sort of a worst case scenario. I believed it a little bit in the beginning when the governor canceled school for a couple of weeks and everyone said, okay, if we just do this for 3 or 4 weeks, then we'll be back and we'll be open again. And I thought that a year plus on was maybe what would happen if we didn't handle it well.
I was really scared. I don't think anybody knew what was going to happen, so that was kind of scary. So I kind of was thinking that it would last this long, but I was hoping it wouldn't.
I thought it was a hoax until I got COVID. It was the worst. I had every symptom in the book.
Oh dear, what is this? Because there had been predictions that we would experience something like a pandemic at some point in the near future, going back about 8 years ago. And so I think it was okay, how do we use the best science and try to continue life as much as normal? I think my priority of responsibilities were getting students to be able to return to Keene State as quickly as possible and to get us back into our teaching and learning, that we couldn't shut down for a year, that was going to be really hard.
I haven't had as many opportunities to talk to people about death and about coming to terms with their own mortality, or about how we deal with grief and loss. Those conversations I've been trained to have, but I haven't had as many opportunities where it's right in front of everyone's face to have those as often as I have over this past year. So maybe it's someone who, it was a very old grandparent who just bad luck got it, but they were up there anyway, and pneumonia or the flu or something else might have done the same thing. That's a very different sort of meeting of grief than somebody who lost a cousin or a sibling or a parent or a friend or someone who was younger, or even that same grandparent that they just weren't ready to say goodbye.
Yeah, I think what I also hadn't anticipated was the amount of time, focus, and energy, not only for me, but for so many of the staff, faculty, and then certainly the life interruption for our students.
Hearing from upperclassmen talk about their experience compared to mine, I definitely feel like I missed out on a lot.
No, I'm definitely happy that I'm still here and we're making the best of it.
I think that what vaccines will mean for us if we can get to that herd immunity level is that we will be back to normal, at least for this round of COVID and the variants we know of today. The vaccine means that we have good confidence. We don't need to have as many of these restrictions because we won't have the virus circulating. My fear is we won't get to that level that's needed. And so those who are vaccinated will have some slightly less restrictive requirements, but for all of us, masks and some level of restriction is probably going to be part of our future until we get to a level where we've got enough vaccine out in the community.
Although I don't think normal is something that we're going to go back to. We're going to have something different now. And now I think we're in the collective work of defining what that is. It's tremendous opportunity to define normal as something much better than before. But that's also a little bit scary.
I feel like it's in the back of your mind now, thinking about how you could contract germs and spread germs. I hope we can go back to normal, but I don't want to get my hopes up.
What I'm anticipating is there'll be the public health recovery, the economic recovery, and then the longer term kind of social fabric recovery. And I think that's going to be over the next 3 years, frankly. I think it's going to take us time to get back to whatever the new normal will be for us as a people, because it's changed how we act with each other, it's changed how we communicate, and I hope we can return and be improved because of it.
I think we have all gone through a collective trauma, and trauma leaves scars. So we have a lot of work to do individually and as a community whether that's the campus community, our local community, the global community, about what just happened and how do we treat one another? What have we learned about one another? What have we learned about ourselves? And how do we move forward in this? These things have a way of bringing to mind what matters. And I hope that we can keep those things, that we can remember how much we missed getting together and how much we missed other people, and therefore not take advantage of those sorts of things in the future.